Dragons Radio Network. Tonight's game is brought to you by Fort Benning Harley-Davidson, Zelmo Zip-In, Country Inn and Suites, Kinetic Credit Union, Heckler & Koch, Pepsi Cola, and PMB Broadcasting. Now let's head to the Harvey Lumber broadcast booth for the start of the Fort Benning Harley-Davidson pregame show. And join the voice of the River Dragons, Zach DeBozart.
Thank you very much, Brian Thomas. Welcome into the Mississippi Coast Coliseum, where the River Dragons and Port Huron Prowlers play a one-off tonight and then have two more games coming up at the Columbus Civic Center later on in the weekend. Going to be a lot of fun to see hockey here in this barn. Lot of history, lot of stories can be told here about all the different teams, the Surge, the Seawolves, and in fact, we have Jerome Bechard on Inside the Lair tonight, who told us a little bit about his time as a Cottonmouth and a couple of different times he was here playing against the Mississippi teams of old. No Mississippi teams represented on the ice for this neutral site game, though. It is the River Dragons taking on the Port Huron Prowlers here on a Thursday night. And then, as we said, Friday and Saturday will be at the Columbus Civic Center, both 7:30 puck drops there in the Chattahoochee Valley. We've got a lot to get to in tonight's Fort Benning Harley-Davidson pregame show. We recap how the River Dragons find themselves in a bit of a tough stretch, currently on a 3-game skid. Port Huron is coming off a bye weekend, so you know they're going to be fresh coming into today's game. Columbus will be hungry. Port Huron will be rested. Let's see what happens here in Game 1 of 3 in a row. Coming to you live from the banks of the Mississippi River. Not exactly our Chattahoochee River home counterparts, but we'll take it because it's going to be a lot of fun to see this building get filled up and get loud tonight. I'm Zach DeBozart. Happy to be with you along for the ride here on the River Dragons Broadcast Network. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we are ready to go inside the lair with Jerome Bechard after this on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
At Fort Benning Harley-Davidson, we can tell you that we have the largest selection of Harleys in Georgia, but you should really see for yourself. Our showroom is packed with a sea of motorcycles, over 100 Harleys to choose from. We've got a Harley for all size people and all sized budgets. Good credit or bad, it's no problem. Come see why Fort Benning Harley-Davidson is the fastest growing dealer in Georgia. Fort Benning Harley-Davidson, Williams Road in Columbus. FortBenningHD.com.
In 1999, Watley Convenience Stores opened its first Zelmo Zip-In. Our first store was in Leesburg, Georgia, and followed quickly by our second store in the Columbus, Phoenix City area in 2000. Since then, the brand has grown to include 11 stores in the Chattahoochee Valley and Southwest Georgia. Zelmo's is an anchor in the communities it operates in. Our managers, employees, and vendors are all an integral part of the neighborhoods and communities we serve. We're proud to call these areas home and plan to continue growing with and serving the communities of West Georgia and East Alabama. Zelmo's, fueling life's passions.
Oral and maxillofacial surgeons Mark Sawicki, Lee Allen practice a traditional scope of oral and maxillofacial surgery with over 60 years of combined expertise, ranging from oral pathology to wisdom tooth removal. They perform a full range of dental implant and bone grafting procedures, as well as non-invasive surgical facial cosmetic procedures. That level of expertise is why the River Dragons trust them. Call them in Columbus at 596-1757 or in LaGrange at 884-2655.
Benning Harley-Davidson pregame show. It's now time for Inside the Lair. Today our guest, the head coach, Jerome Boom Boom Bechard. Jerome, thanks as always for taking the time.
You bet, anytime.
All right, so we're in our first of 3 neutral site games this month in the Mississippi Coast Coliseum, former home of the Biloxi or Mississippi Seawolves. I know you, as a former player and coach, have had a lot of different memories in this building here. So what does being in this barn take you back to right now as we get ready for the game?
Well, against the Seawolves, you know what, they always had a really good hockey team, and don't have a whole lot of fond memories on that side of it. So, but I know when they're in the SP and with the Surge, it was always a really good battle, and Jeff Best was here, and it was always a battle, well-coached team, and it was give or take. So, looking for the same thing tonight.
How long has it been for you, you estimate, since you've been here as really just your last time being in this building?
Oh boy, 5 or 6 years. So it's good. Nice to see it. Nice new scoreboard, beautiful. I mean, big ice surface, small neutral zone, but it's good for offensive players. It's bad for defensive players when it comes down to it because there's not a whole lot of room in the neutral zone, but we adapt.
So the memory's long, you're in a familiar building, and obviously this is a chance to get off on the right foot before a 3-3 weekend, taking on the Port Huron Prowlers. How do you assess the state of the team right now? Because obviously the trip to Watertown didn't really go our way, but it was a quicker turnaround to get to today's game here in Biloxi.
Well, I think the biggest thing is we had a couple days of practice where going to Watertown, we were going in really with no ice time whatsoever, so that hurt, and playing shorthanded wasn't the ultimate thing, and we're short again tonight, but hopefully have a little bit of help for tomorrow back home in Columbus. But at the end of the day, you know what, we just got to play hard and play smart and start scoring some goals.
Columbus River Dragons getting ready to take on the Port Huron Prowlers in the first of 3 that starts up in Biloxi. And you're listening to Inside the Lair with Jerome Bechard. Inside the Lair is brought to you by the Dragons Den Pro Shop and the Columbus Ice Rink, open on Wednesdays every week for all your ice skating and hockey needs. Jerome, when you look at how this game sets up, because even though we're technically the road team, as a neutral site game, I don't really know what that means too much, except last change, obviously, for you is the most important thing. But when you consider Port Huron had to come down here a day early because of their distance, where we're doing a day trip, what do you think, if anything, there's any difference in how the teams are prepared coming into today's game?
Well, obviously they got a chance to skate on the ice and all that stuff. So, I mean, the boards are pretty true here. Ice is always going to be average. It's not going to be great. So, I mean, and we're used to that. So, a 4-hour trip with a morning skate this morning, I don't think that's going to be much of a factor. I mean, Port Huron is always a tough team to play against because they play a run and gun game, and they don't really care about defense. They just want to score goals, and we try to play a little bit more responsible, and every now and then that kind of bites us and lets us go. So I think that's the biggest thing is we got to play a little. Play our D need to play a little center field and make sure we don't give up any odd man rushes and breakaways.
For you, I have to imagine 4-hour trip. This is feeling a little bit more like what you're used to, because 3 years of being the River Dragons guy, that didn't feel like that long on the bus, did it?
Oh, that's just a cup of coffee, really. So you know what, it was a good trip down, and had left plenty of time, good meal, cup of coffee this night, let the guys stretch their legs a little bit and break it up. So, yeah, I think we'll be ready to go.
We know, obviously, playing Port Huron, what type of game they bring. We've obviously seen them earlier this year from the very beginning of the season, but even though it's only been about a month or so, those two teams look very different to what they are now. What do you think is our biggest asset from opening weekend to now playing that same opponent?
Well, it's pretty tough to say because, obviously we haven't won in a couple games or 3 games, I guess it is now. And, I think we just need to find our confidence around the net. We haven't scored a whole lot of goals. We've been playing pretty good defense up until the last 2 games, and we got to find that defensive play again. And then when we get our opportunities, we've had plenty of opportunities to score, and our guys just aren't putting the puck in that. So I think guys are holding their sticks a little tight and pressing and get upset. And I'm like, guys, just go play. I mean, there's going to be plenty of chances, and just bury them when you don't, or when you got a chance. And if you don't worry about it. Don't beat yourself up. I mean, just keep going. You just got to keep going. So,
you've already kind of said a couple of X factors for this game. We know what it's like playing Port Huron, so we'll get you out of here with this. We usually ask guys any message to the fans, but for you returning to this building, any message to the Mississippi faithful who are going to be attending today's game, and let's be honest, potentially cheering on the River Dragons because they're the more southern team in this battle today.
Most definitely. You know what? I mean, I'm just a big proponent of hockey in the South, and anytime you can promote it, and I know Mississippi hasn't had hockey for 5 or 6 years, and it's always nice to promote it. So, come on out, support whatever team you want, and just support. So, hopefully you do have a team to cheer for in the future.
All right, thanks for your time. Good luck out there, Jerome.
You bet. Thank you.
Jerome Boom Boom Bechard on Inside the Lair. Stick around. More Fort Benning Harley-Davidson pregame show after this on the Columbus River Dragons Radio Network.
Progress. It's the belief that your life should be easier, that life should be fun, and that the best is yet to come. With us, you have a provider who pours everything into bringing progress home. And it's not just some big name in a faraway glass tower. That provider is here. That provider is Beam.
With local service and faster internet, the only place you're going is forward. And we're taking you there. Progress, your beam, your way.
At Texas Roadhouse, we're famous for our hand-cut steaks, fall-off-the-bone ribs, made-from-scratch sides, ice-cold beer, and our irresistible fresh-baked bread. We take great care in everything we prepare, served with big smiles at a great value. Visit us at 2970 North Lake Parkway in Columbus or call ahead seating at 706-323-6616. Curbside takeout available too. We're proud to be your hometown favorite and are always focused on providing legendary food and legendary service. Texas Roadhouse.
Thinking of adding a new addition to the family? Well, animal control is always full. So adopt a pet from your local animal care and control center. A new pet will show your family unconditional love, companionship, entertainment, laughter, and protection. Just like your child, domestic animals require constant supervision and responsibility. Responsible pet owners recognize this need. See to it that their pets are cared for and protected in a humane manner. For more information on adopting your new family member, visit columbusga.org to help out a pet in need.
We are back here at the Mississippi Coast Coliseum on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network. I'm Zach DeBozart, Team President, General Manager Scott Brand will be joining me momentarily here live high atop the Mississippi Coast Coliseum. And when I say high atop, I do not skimp on words. We can see the top side of the Jumbotron center hung here in Biloxi, so that's a lot of fun. Again, our perch in Columbus is quite high, but this is pretty lofty, pretty fun, and we see the crowd filing in here for what should be a fun night of hockey here on the Mississippi Coast. Cannot wait to get this one underway. The Columbus River Dragons, Port Huron Prowlers out there. They're finishing up warm-ups. There are about 4 minutes or so left to go here in this one. We'll bring you the starting lineups momentarily as the guys get off the ice. We can tell you, though, from what Jerome said in Inside the Lair, which Inside the Lair brought to you by the Dragon's Den Pro Shop in the Columbus Ice Rink. River Dragons do find themselves on a little bit of a skid. 3-game losing streak coming into today's game. All 3 of those losses occurring last week. Wednesday at home against Carolina, and then 2 straight losses up in Watertown against the league leaders Friday and Saturday, a specifically ugly one because of the 9-0 defeat to the Wolves. Now, 7 of those goals coming in the second period. You can argue that the final 20 minutes of play was pretty good and allowed you to have something to build off of. But still, the fact that your offense was very negligible in that weekend, it's going to be very tough to try and overcome that. But you have an opponent here in Port Huron that you're familiar with. You know what type of game they play, so you have to imagine that you'll be able to find yourself getting off to a better foot earlier as we welcome in Scott Brand into the broadcast booth. Scott, welcome in. Obviously not your first time in Biloxi. What's it look like to you right now?
Well, first of all, I don't know what you're talking about last weekend. We had last weekend off. Nothing happened, and the world was good, so I don't know where you're making up stories there. So let's focus on here, Biloxi, Mississippi, Gulfport area, right on the beach. You and I went on there. Every time we went in the water, people tried to shove us, came out of the water and on the beach. They kept shoving us back. But great crowd tonight, 3,500 plus pre-sold. That's at 9 o'clock this morning, Zach.
Ooh, wow.
And here's the thing there. Everybody knows about Ticketmaster's $14 fees. So they're imagining the walk-ups. In fact, the game's a little bit behind schedule. Maybe we're delaying it a little bit so that large crowd can get in here. Return of hockey to a great hockey city. This place used to draw 8, 9, 10,000 a night, completely sell out back in the old ECHL day or when you had the I-10 corridor. How nice it is to be in the city. By the way, I know Port Huron's listening to us tonight. We're Michiganders. Sorry, Port Huron. 80 degrees here today.
Yeah, I found myself sweating in the track jacket coming into the arena today. That's not something I say very often in December.
No, we opened the car door, got out, and we're like, oh my gosh, it's like the middle of summer here. But as I said, we can see the Gulf of Mexico here. Beautiful city, nice arena. Think of a mini Madison Square Garden, the big circular building. Like the old time, they had them all up and down the coast, and this is one of the last ones left.
Now, the Mississippi Coast Coliseum for general events can hold up in the 5 digits, but since the remodel, 9,150 is the listed attendance and 3,500 plus pre-sold. When you said, oh, okay, you figure walk up, the building's going to be half full. For some places that doesn't mean much. For a place like Mississippi, that means there's a lot of people coming to this game. It's going to be loud.
It's a lot of people. Listen, everybody knows what's on the line. If you're in the know and you're in Mississippi, you have 3 games. If those 3 games average over 2,500, good chance there's going to be professional hockey back here next year, starting next year, Zach. Tonight's a great opportunity to start that. People are behind this, and they're really excited about the possible name.
We are going to be going over a whole lot of this, not only today, but on December 17th and December 30th when the River Dragons are back here. All 3 games, they are listed as the road team. The 2nd today playing Port Huron, the 17th playing Carolina, and the 30th playing Port Huron again. So we'll get very familiar with this building over the course of the month, telling the story of Biloxi and southern Mississippi. I cannot wait to see the turnout because already you can tell as warm-ups are concluding, it's filing in pretty nicely. That lower bowl is going to be rocking. It's going to be jam-packed tonight.
No question about it. The beer lines, not that I would be standing in line for beer, happen to be extremely long. That's why I was a little late getting up here. I was checking out the lines.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, warm-ups are concluding. Guys will be off the ice. We'll see if we can't bring you the starting lineups coming up after this on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Country Inn and Suites by Radisson, you'll enjoy comfortable accommodations close to Columbus State University, Fort Benning, and of course, the River Dragons games. Conveniently located at 1720 Fountain Court in Columbus, you'll be minutes away from all your favorite Columbus destinations. Free high-speed Wi-Fi and hot breakfast always available too. So whether you're staying for business or for pleasure, make your next stay in Columbus a comfortable one at the official hotel partner of the River Dragons, Country Inn and Suites by Radisson.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey cheesy crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously, but as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
We are back here at the Mississippi Coast Coliseum. Little late night hockey if you're listening in on the East Coast back home here in the Central Time Zone. We are just getting ready to get up to the 7 o'clock hour, which means we are, officially about 12 minutes from puck drop. It's Scott Brantz here with us in the Harvey Lumber broadcast booth. We see the teams are off the ice and the nets are being taken care of. The clock went up with about 16 minutes, so a little bit of a delayed start to it, but you said that might be by design.
It might be. I mean, there's a lot of people trying to get in the building. And let's remember, we haven't had hockey here since Katrina, and what was that?
2005.
So it's been. No, they had hockey here, but it's been a number of years. I think
I know when Katrina was.
I
don't know when the team was though.
Because the Surge was here for a little bit, but it's been a while. They're excited to have hockey back, and it's hopefully the Fed product is people are entertained, but I can tell you people are excited what's going on here tonight.
Now, I will say this, Scott, because obviously you had plenty of different experience in USA Hockey, the SPHL specifically. I mean, being in this building, you've seen it full. You've seen plenty of different things here. What are some of the stories from Mississippi that fans can really get to know that those might not know about how this building and how this market is so suited for hockey, despite being right on the Gulf Coast of Mexico?
Well, here's the thing: is when hockey first came to the island, they called the I-10 corridor. They had New Orleans, they had Louisiana, you had Biloxi, you had Mobile, you had Tallahassee, you had Jacksonville. I mean, those teams, that whole area, Pensacola, they would sell out. There'd be, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. The Louisiana Cajun Dome, 14,000, whatever. I mean, as many people watch basketball. And for 3 years, it was incredible. A couple hurricanes hit. A couple teams maybe got a little soft in their marketing, and things just collapsed. And then that's where the SPHL was born. They came in, and the SPHL did a nice job, but I don't know if they did a good job of marketing this particular market. Or Louisiana, I think maybe they jumped in too quick. And so, but the night that the Surge won the ECHL championship here, and I've seen photos of it, and I remember being involved with management with the league. It was just an incredible special night here, and people think they can recapture that. I think they can recapture it. The thing is the area has changed, Zach, and there's a lot of people that retire from the north and come down to the south. The
snowbirds.
And this is another big military town, big Air Force base here, I believe, and right behind us, and so military all over the country. A lot of foreign people come in and watch, and they like hockey, and so this is a special night, and so we'll see what we get here, Zach, and hopefully we can add another star to our collection of teams, and obviously we heard some good news the other day too.
Yeah, you certainly hope so, but the news Scott is referring to is the new acquisition of the lease at First Arena in Elmira, New York. It is a new group. It is not the Can USA group. It is, and you're going to correct me on this, Donner Tedless?
I think it's Tetler Donner.
Tetler Donner, there it is. Okay, so either way, that group is now coming in to the Elmira market, and there's, talks about what they're going to be doing, but, I mean, at the very latest, it looks like 22-23, very next season, Elmira is going to have hockey back, and you look at how the league's shaped up right now. Binghamton, an hour down the road. Watertown, obviously best in the league right now. The state of New York is going to be insane for Fed hockey.
Well, and let's remember, that's the birthplace of the Federal Hockey League. And so the thing to think of, you're right, Steve Donner and that group has secured the lease. They are going to continue to make improvements there. They're going to build on what the Enforcers had. Rumor has it the Reinforcers. I don't know about that. But, do they officially have a team in our league? No. They have to go through all the jumps and the hoops, and we'll do all that, and we know that they're going to be ready for the 22-23 season. And so that's an acquirement. There's talk, remember when the old Canadian team was the Nationals?
The Cornwall Nationals.
Okay, there's been inquiry from there. Will we go back there? I don't know, and I don't want to start that as a rumor, but there has been more teams. If you see success in Biloxi, Zach, I think you're going to see 2 or 3 more teams come in the South. And, folks, that was a long-term plan. It's always been a long-term plan to have a North Division, a South Division, and eventually you're going to start filling some things in the middle.
And you got to imagine, too, just the footprint of the league has always been something that is impressive at a very low level because, the ECHL, look how long it took them to really spread across the country and took the acquisition of the Central Hockey League to do so as part of some absorption. When you look at it, the FPHL goes from top of the Northeast pretty much all the way down to the bottom of the Southeast. Now, especially with this game here in Biloxi, you're a couple steps away from getting to the Gulf of Mexico, and then you're right off the top in the Northeast with places like Watertown and Danbury. So that's something to be said. And when you get to a certain point, you don't want to overexpand the footprint. You strengthen the footprint. That's where you think the league might be at now.
That's where I definitely think it's at, and I think there's some markets that are ready to come back. The Surge folded in 2014 here, so you do the math. Is that 7 years ago?
Yes, that was.
So we had almost the same scenario in Winston-Salem. A team there that had lost all those franchises, and we came in and got the lightning in a bottle, and nobody's talking about Winston-Salem not being successful anymore. And so I think here's another possible city here too that we can bring those back. But Zach, you're right, that North is going to be very successful, and with Winston, with Columbus, and the ownership that's committed to grow in the South, I think you're going to see 2 very, very strong divisions.
Should be a lot of fun. Obviously, fun to look ahead to the future. Right now, the immediate future tells us we got to take a break because we're getting near the end of the ice resurface here, and we'll have hockey back in the Mississippi Coast Coliseum in just a couple of minutes. Also waiting for our starting lineups. We got one. We're waiting for the second one to come in. We'll get you those likely after the break here on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
I've always wanted to get on the open road, but your skills on a bike might need a little work. Well, we've got your back. The Riding Academy has now launched at Fort Benning Harley-Davidson. It's your chance to learn to ride for only $199. Unleash your soul on the open road. To schedule your class or to get on a waiting list for priority scheduling for future classes, go to fortbenninghd.com. Learn to ride for less than $200. The Fort Benning Harley-Davidson Riding Academy. fortbenninghd.com.
The benefits of a Kinetic membership extend far beyond convenient banking solutions, competitive rates, and financial advice. Kinetic Credit Union focuses on the unique needs of our members while supporting and improving their lives. At Kinetic Credit Union, they recognize that your financial goals are unique. That's why we're offering the Smart Steps Financial Education Program, a personalized learning experience to help you plan around your individual financial situation and aspirations. Kinetic Credit Union.
Many medicines used to treat colds and flu contain acetaminophen, a pain reliever and fever reducer found in hundreds of over-the-counter and prescription medicines. But taking too much or more than one medication containing acetaminophen per day can damage your liver. So always read the label and don't take acetaminophen if you drink 3 or more alcoholic drinks every day. To learn more, visit fda.gov/OTC pain info. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Food and Drug Administration.
Welcome back into the Mississippi Coast Coliseum. We're here on the Fort Benning Harley-Davidson pregame show on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network. Before we go any farther, though, let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification on the Columbus River Dragons Radio Network. I'm Zach DeBozart. He's Scott Brand. The Zamboni is making its way around the ice, and we have our starting lineups here for you in tonight's contest. Starting lineups for the River Dragons are brought to you by Fort Benning Harley-Davidson. Go see Brett Posey and the guys, 3230 Williams Road, the Chattahoochee Valley's only licensed Harley-Davidson dealer. Hey, it's December, but as Scott and I said, it's still pretty warm out there, still very much riding season, depending on the type of day you get. So go see them, 3230 Williams Road in the north of Columbus. River Dragons lineup, they will put in net number 31, Bailey McBurney. McBurney has a 1-1-1 record, 2.88 goals against, and a 9.21 save percentage. Both goaltenders, Scott, started out very hot, Jared Rutledge and Bailey McBurney, but obviously 3-game losing streak. Both guys have kind of got, hit up a little bit. The numbers aren't where they were, and Bailey McBurney gets the start here for the first of this 3-3.
Yeah, let's remember is that you got 3 games, so goalie's not going to play each and every one of them, and then you're right, they've struggled a little bit lately, but I don't know how much you can blame on it. I think each one of them probably let on a soft one or two, but the weekend it didn't happen, it was definitely none of their doing.
So according to you, just to be clear, both Port Huron and Columbus were on byes last weekend.
Yes.
Good to know. The River Dragons defense in front of McBurney starts with number 27, Paul Fraziot, and number 13, Edgars Ozelinch. Seeing a little bit of a change-up in Jerome's lineups in terms of his pairings, in terms of his forward units, and we'll see that in the starting lineup as well for the forwards. But playing a little bit short, and just after a 3-game losing streak, you have to think, hey, change some things up, see who plays well with who, right?
Well, you do, and one of the excuses was they didn't have any practice last week, Zach, and obviously we know because of the COVID situation is that the youth rink is being used as a courthouse, and actually so's the Civic Center is used as a courthouse too. So note to self, people, don't commit any more crimes so we can kind of clean it up. Then when we get the buildings back, you go do crime all you want to. But here's the thing is, so we weren't able to practice, and it was an excuse. Sure, it's an excuse, but it's tough to try and play without lines. Obviously, Jerome making some changes tonight. You hope the guys respond.
Then we've got forward line for the River Dragons. Number 9, Josh Petrantonio, and number 17, Austin Doe on the wings. The listed center on this line is number 15, Hunter Bersani. Scott, I've been one to say I always enjoy watching Bersani since he's been a River Dragon. He's a guy who just seems to have such a big motor in him. He always loves to get up there on the forecheck, not afraid of too much. And now here, playing with a couple of vets in Petrantonio and Doe, we did see that line connect for a goal in Watertown, so maybe trying to continue some of that magic.
I hope so, too. You know, and I'm not a big believer in messing up lines. I thought when the first weekend of the season and the second weekend, I thought the lines were good together. But you're right, things kind of stalled a little bit, so we'll see what he's going to do.
That's your starting lineup for the River Dragons, brought to you by Fort Benning Harley-Davidson. Now a quick look over at the Port Huron Prowlers. Opponent lineups brought to you by Victoryland Casino, just over the border, or in this case, the other border now, in Shorter, Alabama.
And you know what? We went right past it today.
Yeah. Why didn't we leave earlier? What the heck? That wasn't good planning by us. Victoryland
because
Casino.
we don't get our paychecks till tomorrow.
Victoryland Casino brings you the opponent's starting lineups. They will start in net. The Port Huron Prowlers were with number 1, Corey Simons. Simons a 3-1 record, 3.53 goals against, and a .906 save percentage. Interestingly, Simons will be backed up tonight not by Greg Harney, but by Joe Noonan, who will be wearing number 40. So Noonan is the one making the trip for the Prowlers here tonight. The defense sees a familiar face returning to the lineup here for Port Huron, Alex Johnson and Joe Pace. Joe Pace obviously becoming something of a figure down here because he's trying to help this Biloxi neutral site, era become its own team coming up in a little bit.
Well, worst kept secret in hockey is Joe Pace will become the face of the Seawolves, if that indeed is their name. And of course, he'll operate the program. Him and his wife, Allison, and their kids have already moved down here. And so regardless if there's hockey or not, the Paces are a member here. And, of course, Joe playing for Port Huron and his team, that's something goes without said.
Yep, so Pace and Johnson on the back end. The forward line, number 51, Matt Graham in the middle. On the left wing, number 85, Lauri Vartiainen. And on the right wing, it's number 92, Dalton J.
I don't know if enough. It was first we're going to talk about Dalton J. I mean, he just haunts us every game. But I want to talk about Matt Graham. Is Grammer's now the GM of the team up there? He's the player coach. He's done a phenomenal job. The games were there, Zach. Very impressed with the attendance. Attendance has gone down a little bit there in Port Huron, but he's working hard, and I want to see big things for Port Huron. They're to me, they are the most important franchise simply because that's going to be the bellwether of the league. It's great to have these big markets, but we've got to make sure that teams like Port Huron can be healthy.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, our referee's on the ice. That means we'll be very close to puck drop here after this on the Columbus River Dragons Radio Network.
Who wants a copy when you can own the real thing? At Heckler & Koch, the foundation for everything we do is an unswerving commitment to excellence. Shooters of Columbus at 4445 Milton Road is your local area premium stocking dealer for all your favorite Heckler & Koch products. They also have an indoor range with rentals available, from rifles and pistols to ammo and holsters. There's no better choice in the firearm business than Heckler & Koch.
Gulf Eagle Supply specializes in servicing the professional roofing contractor and also provides a variety of products and services to the homeowner, building owner, architect, and general contractor. Our goal to the contractor is not only to provide competitive material pricing, but also to help them build their business and assist in their success. We do this with knowledgeable sales personnel and through our core values. As we say, Gulf Eagle, we got a solution for that. Call us today at 706-550-1555. Gulf Eagle Supply.
Vectorply is a world leader in development, manufacturing, and distribution of composite reinforcement materials for any and all projects you might have. Headquartered right here in Phoenix City, Vectorply prides itself on providing superior and timely customer service for all their customers' inquiries. No project is too big or too small for Vectorply. For more information on what they can do for you and your project, visit Vectorply.com. That's VECTORPLY.com. And get started on your next big project today.
We are back here at the Mississippi Coast Coliseum. Starters are being announced for the home team, in parentheses, the Port Huron Prowlers. River Dragons are out there on the ice. They're ready to go. Scott, your final thoughts before we get ourselves ready for some hockey?
My final thoughts are we should be the home team. We're the hockey team of the South.
We definitely drove less, too.
Everybody knows that we're the hockey team of the South, so you can call themselves what you want. My thoughts this. It's great to be back in the Mississippi Coliseum. We're so proud to be part of this opportunity, Zach. And let's hope this is a tremendous game, and let's hope that these next 2 trips aren't our last 2 trips here. This is a great hockey community, and how can you not like looking over at the Gulf of Mexico?
It's definitely nice for sure. All right, that'll do it. The Fort Benning Harley-Davidson pregame show is over. When we come back, call of the game next on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
You've been listening to the Fort Benning Harley-Davidson pregame show on 106.9 Really Rocks. The call of the game is just moments away after we pause for a short break on the River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Let Shredaway, a division of the Overby Company, take care of all your document shredding needs. We can design a custom shredding program for your business today. No need to purchase equipment, no maintenance expenses, no need to prepare records for destruction, increase employee productivity, increase security, no worry. Was it really destroyed? Right now, all new customers can receive 10% off. Shredaway, a division of the Overby Company, locally owned and operated in downtown Columbus. That's Shredaway, 706-577-9668.
At Southern States Bank, the Common Sense Bank, we're a true community bank that supports the places we serve. Our people live, work, and play in your community. And you will find us cheering for the River Dragons right alongside you in the stands. With convenient locations throughout Alabama and Georgia, we're never too far away to handle any of your financial concerns. Call, click, or come by and see how we can help you make sense out of your banking. Visit us online at southernstatesbank.net. Southern States Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS number 410611.
Dressing for success is as easy as 1, 2, 3 with Wade Cleaners. Drop off your garment at any one of their 5 convenient branches or call their valet manager to pick them up. Go do something fun. Walk your dog, eat a hot fudge sundae, or go to a movie. Leave the dirty laundry to them. Pick up your professionally cleaned garments or have them delivered at no additional charge to your home or office. Yes, you too can dress for success with Wade Cleaners. Oh, and don't forget the little people as you move up in the world.
The King Claw is one of the most popular destinations for seafood enthusiasts. King Claw is inspired by the Viet Cajun elegance of boil and bag seafood that holds all the juicy flavor of the ocean. Then we add our very own unique mixture of the best spices that take the taste to another level. We can confirm that you won't find our flavor anywhere else. We collect the freshest seafood, prepare them as you order, and we encourage you to grab your hand in the bag to enjoy the heavenly taste of our signature seafood combinations. We believe that having quality and fresh foods with friends and family is the best feeling in the world. Come, open up a bag and enjoy the best seafood in town where the ultimate juiciness waits for you. Call 706-507-3845 to order.
It's time for River Dragons Hockey. Tonight's game is brought to you by Sun South, John Deere, Houston Clinic, Burger King, West Georgia Oral and Facial Surgery, Country Inn and Suites, Buffalo Rock, Pepsi Cola, John Emerald Distilling, Wade Cleaners, and PMB Broadcasting. Now let's start the game with the voice of River Dragons Hockey, Zach DeBozart.
Welcome back into the Mississippi Coast Coliseum here, everybody. We're a little bit quieter with this right now because our national anthem has not been played yet, but we're actually going to take it down to ice level. I believe we are swearing in some new airmen. Scott mentioned an Air Force base down here. Let's take a listen in. Okay, bad timing. They just finished it.
Yeah, well, and we apologize. Listen, we didn't know that, but a class of about 30 young ladies and men joining the Air Force, not joining the Army, so they're second best behind Fort Benning, but that's okay. They're still thankful that they're defending our country.
Let me ask you this, Scott, because we talked about the Columbus-Watertown pseudo-rivalry, if you will, both teams being Army towns, Fort Benning and Fort Drum. If Biloxi comes into the league, how does that factor into the military-type rivalry that might be spewing up?
Go Army.
I guess that's your answer for it. All right. Looks like we're going to be heading down to ice level as we got another presentation going on.
Barry Soskin and Jeff Krupp are going to go out and fight, I believe, a 5-round. Each round will be 2 minutes each.
Only 2.
Well, they're old. Well, I guess maybe
it was just acknowledgement.
Maybe they already started fighting. I don't know.
You're telling me it got into the tunnel and not out here in front of the crowd?
Sure what happened.
That's not good showmanship, Scott.
Oh, here we go.
All right. So
someone's singing the national anthem.
Now we'll take it to ice level for the national anthem.
And the 331st Recruiting Squadron, We would ask that all of you rise, remove your hats, and we would like to remind all members of the armed forces and veterans who are present but not in uniform that you may render the military salute.
Roar of the crowd lets you know it's time, hockey time on the Mississippi. I'm Zach DeBozart. He's Scott Brand. Boy, oh boy, it's going to be a lot of fun. Not exactly hockey time on the Chattahoochee, but we're going to take it because this is a big crowd coming in here.
The Gulf Coast, not the Mississippi.
Okay, listen, we're in the state. You weren't going to give me that? Come on.
That's a good point. That's a good point. We wait for the flag to leave the ice here. So as you're watching on YouTube. The blue seats 5,500. Yep. For those of you at home want to nitpick on how many people are here, the blue seats 5,500, and then the rest of the building will go out with about another 4,000. In front of us, you can't see. This area is completely packed. We're guessing between 4,500, possibly 5,000 tickets out. So I would say that they've secured a heck of a game tonight. So now we're going to go do our ceremonial puck drop, and it won't be you or I, so I'm not quite sure who it will be.
Well, it'll be Joe Pace or Alex Johnson. Don't know which, but Josh Petrantonio goes over to represent the River Dragons. Actually, it is Alex Johnson. We got the old Seawolves mascot out here and bundling up the carpets, getting ourselves ready to go.
Seawolves mascot name is Hook.
Hook, okay.
So obviously we might as well get the rivalry started. So when a team does come in here, I expect a lot of cheating, a lot of grabbing, a lot of hooking.
Oh, okay. Was that behind it, or was it because of the Gulf and you can go fishing?
So, ceremonial face-off will be the commander of the Air Force Base down here.
Yes, it will. River Dragons, they are dressed in the blackout uniforms tonight. Black jerseys, black helmets and pants with gray secondaries, numbers, and teal trim all throughout. They'll be going right to left across your radio dial and TV screens here in the Sun South John Deere first period. The Port Huron Prowlers, they'll be dressed in a, let's be honest, more old-school home white look for today's game, being, of course, the listed home team. White jerseys, red helmets. There is a chest band of red inside the Port Huron Prowlers logo. Red pants, white socks. They go left to right with Corey Simons in the crease over in the zone to our left.
Detroit Red Wings style uniforms the Port Huron Prowlers are.
It's got that vibe, that's for sure. Crowd's getting loud, music's blaring. It's fun here in Mississippi. Happy you're along as part of your Thursday night here on the River Dragons Broadcast Network. You know what else, Scott, is worth mentioning? Nearby to Biloxi here, New Orleans Saints are actually playing a football game right now. You wouldn't know it. Crowd's filled in nicely.
Oh, yeah.
Thursday Night Football, Cowboys Saints.
In New Orleans?
I believe so.
So yes, because somebody gave up their football tickets. And I would too. Who wants to watch the Cowboys? But no, listen, really exciting here on the Gulf Coast, and the return of hockey. 2014 was when the surge left, so that's 7 or 8 years, depending on whose math you do.
All right, let's get ourselves ready to go. The doors are shut. The players are stretched and ready. It's time to play some hockey here, Columbus and Port Huron.
Dragons are going which way?
Right to left.
Okay.
And the Prowlers will be going left to right. Prowlers dressed in white and red. River Dragons dressed in the all-black look. Sorry in advance, Scott, with how high up we are. It can be tough to see those numbers.
Listen, I'm already lightheaded and the goat just walked by. Who sponsors the first period?
First period brought to you by Sun South John Deere.
And so here goes Zach Bozart. We're live from the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Zach, take it away.
Thank you very much, Scott. Puck is down. We are underway, and Columbus has control of the opening draw. Austin Doe with this left wing circle, being bothered there by Joe Pace. Doe thought about the wraparound, has it on the forehand, still with it to the right circle, and his pass went away from Ozelinch. And look out, Dalton Jay's got a chance here. Half breakaway, right circle, fires, and completely whiffed on that shot. Pad save made by McBurney as it fluttered along the ice. Now a play in the far corner. Moving it over to the near side here is Vartiainen. Tries to cycle it to Graham behind the net. Puck chips up into the air, and on the near side boards, the River Dragons will seal it off. Play ahead, Petrantonio trying to get around his man. That's Mo Levesque. It's caught up in the linesman's feet, and the Prowlers will take it over, and then Vartiainen overskated it, but then stepped to his man. That was Jagger Williamson, and now the Prowlers will control again in their own end. 45 seconds gone here on South John Deere first period. No score, and the first shot of the game belongs to Port Huron on that Dalton Jay chance. The Dragons play this one up too far out of the reach of MJ Graham. Pace will flip this one down ice. Levesque is in a race with Doyle, and the puck will fall Doyle's way in the lanes. So he will win the race to the hash marks, and we will get icing. 19 minutes left to go here in the first. Columbus and Port Huron live from Mississippi.
I got to tell you, the crowd is extremely silent. I think it's because they don't know which team they should root for. I mean, obviously you want to root for the team from the hockey capital of the U.S., the South, the River Dragons, but they know
maybe the first goal will really—that's what they're waiting for. Who scores
that,
first?
Or maybe if a glove hits the ice.
That's always a good sign too. Jagger Williamson wins this draw. Graham plays it off the wall, right point, a shot, a stick save made there by Simons as that one goes up into the netting and out of play. That was off the stick, looks like of Jake Gray. 18:52 now left to go here in the first. Still no score. Port Huron and Columbus.
Man, remind me to bring my opera glasses this time. I mean, we are up high. I mean,
I was saying that during the pregame show before you got in, Scott. In Columbus, we've got a high perch. This is different. The fact that I could see the top of the Jumbotron, that's a different view I didn't expect to have when I was up here. Krupp checks a man into the corner there. That's Alex Johnson. Shot from the right wing circle by Graham. Goes off the side of the net, and Simons is happy to see it by. Port Huron escapes out of their own end. Coming in with this puck is Brennan Young. Young dekes around one along the goal line. His shot hits the side of the net. Played down with a low stick as it goes into the far corner. Young seals off Doyle. He still has it on the twig till Mo Levesque in the slot, deflect and score. That pinballed at least twice, and I think Levesque is going to get the final touch for the goal. 18:26 left to go in the first, and the Prowlers have an early 1-0 lead.
Listen, I think that caught Levesque right in the side of the head because he's grabbing his side, and all his partners came up to check on him. So it was twice deflected, as you mentioned it. I don't think Levesque knew it hit him and went in. He is checking to make sure all his chiclets are there. He does remove the mask and is going off the ice. So definitely a deflection, and that's using his head.
It was using his head, but the guy without his helmet is actually Caleb Williams. So he might have gotten credit for it. It bounced off a couple of different players, and now Williams is going to skate off down the tunnel.
Well, if he got the goal, that's exactly what happened. He got injured, but you know what? It's hockey. It's not like it's soccer. You're laying down.
Young threw it to Levesque. It bounced off a bunch of bodies, ended up going in past McBurney. Tough start here for the Dragons, and in a way the Prowlers too, despite being up 1-0 right now without Caleb Williams, who has gone down to the dressing room, but we assume has credit for the goal. We're waiting for the announcement.
And there's blood on the ice, so he definitely got hurt. We're going to get her scraped up here and get her going like we do in hockey. But it was a nice deflection. I think it was headed wide of the net. And here we go.
Caleb Williams, the Genoa, Ohio native. If it is his first of the season and first as a professional. And not a painful way to get your first, but it has set the team up in Port Huron for a 1-0 lead.
And as I said, I think the shot was going wide. He was just standing in front, and it caught him looked like it caught him somewhere in the chin area and went in. He was stunned a little bit, and his team gathered around him. I think he realized he scored, but going off the ice, as I said, I'm sure he'll get a couple staples in him, or what do they use? They don't use staples now. They use super glue.
I was going to say stitches, but sure, why not?
and so they'll glue him back together, and put him back on the shelf so Mom doesn't realize it.
Puck is down. We are back underway. Columbus dumps this one in with Justin Schmidt, cross ice into the right wing corner. Johnson takes a big check there. Puck is free just in the far corner, and Frisura will play it out. Getting it up ahead, Stavros Soilis sends it out to center and gets it right back. Off a body, Soilis with it, right wing circle, bottom of the circle, shot deflect in front, and Isaiah Crawford sent it skyward. Glorious opportunity right there for the Detroit native to make it 2-0 Port Huron here early.
Boy, Port Huron's buzzing like they normally do.
Federley moves this one ahead. A quick touch there by Soilis into the zone. Columbus gets it back. Now it's played off the backside of Soilis. He'll dump it in from the red, and McBurney will touch it up here behind the net. 17:43 left to go here in the first. 1-0 our score in favor of Port Huron. Haven't gotten the official goal call yet, and here it comes as McBurney gets the whistle. Let's listen.
With the assist coming from number 96, Brennan Young. Time of goal, 1:34 of the first.
So Caleb Williams, it is his goal, first as a professional, and might have cost him one or two teeth in the way as he's still down in the tunnel getting taken care of. Brennan Young picks up the assist. I think Mo Levesque will also get an assist upon review after that as well. We're back underway. Columbus wins the draw, trying to work it out the near side boards. They escape out to center ice with it as Austin Doe takes a big check on that left wing side. He gets turned over. Here's Vartainen. He fakes a shot. Right circle. Pass across. Deflected off of Graham's skates and just goes wide of the near post. Port Huron doing a great job just throwing pucks to the dangerous areas right now, Scott.
Absolutely they are.
Here's a shot right point from Dustin Henning, the Port Huron captain. It's patted away by McBurney, and Columbus tries to chip this one out with Petrantonio. It's stalled right in front of it. He'll collect it, but it goes right through Doe as he tried to take it up on a rush. Port Huron dumps in on delayed offsides, and Columbus will have possession here. 16:50 left to go in the Sun-South John Deere first period. Dodging a check, Petrantonio trying to fight through some bodies, pushes it down deep, and Federley has it now in his own end. Federley across the blue line. Johnson kicks this one ahead, and Justin Barr plays it into the zone. Too far for himself, and Columbus recollects. Here's Jagger Williamson gaining the red, flipping this one in left wing side. MJ Graham racing after it. Federley trying to box him out. Jagger Williamson picks it out of the feet. A backhand off the wall to the right point. Finds his man in Ozelinch. His pass to the side of the net, and nobody was home for Columbus. MJ Graham had it go by him, and Port Huron moves it out to center. Here's Brennan Young with this puck, tries to sidestep a man. That was Frazier. And at the red line, Columbus stalls it out, and Jagger Williamson plays it back to the defense. Frazier and Grade play a little catch. Grade with a flip to the left wing side. MJ Graham too far out of his reach, but he had to stay on sides. Krupp kicks it to Williamson, left wing circle. He spins it back onto the forehand. Over to the left point. Here's Frazier. A shot wide across the crease that goes into the far corner. And one held in at the point, passed down to Krupp at the hash marks, and he couldn't get around Mo Levesque. Port Huron takes over, and Levesque skates it to center as the Prowlers change behind this. 15:40 left to go here in the first.
Yeah, both teams, they're playing good hockey. The ice is slow, Zach, and the next time we get a chance we can talk about ice is normally 3/4 of an inch. Ice here is over an inch thick.
So definitely going to be a little bit of a slower game we expect. Right now, Port Huron's the one who has started fast. Anderson backhand flips this one into the zone, too far into the path of Armstrong, and Quentin Roseboom will rim this one around for the Prowlers. Justin Schmidt thought about having it. Instead, it got cut off. And look out, here's some speed for Trevor Finch. Finch fires. Good block in front there by Joe Pace. Those two cancel out in the corner. Roseboom trying to send this one out. Check that. Frisura sends this one out off of a body at the red line. Taking some abuse there is Doyle. It goes around him and down into the Columbus end. Trevor Finch grabs it from behind the net. Frisura cuts him off, and the puck skitters free into the far corner. Those two battling away at each other. Now Anderson comes in and tries to help out, as too does one of the Prowlers. It's a 2-on-2 battle in the hash marks in the zone to our right. This one being moved up the wall, closer to the point. Isaiah Crawford seals it up. Somebody's lost a twig in all this. Looks like it's Zach Frisura for Port Huron. We're still in the middle of this rugby scrum, and now Columbus is going to come out with it. A pass to the near side wall. And Ozelinch will send this off wall behind the net to Doyle. Doyle gives it back to Ozelinch. 14:25 left to go in the first. And all that rugby scrumming right there, that takes a lot out of you. Not a lot being moved, but it takes a lot out of you, and you can see both teams trying to get changes behind this Columbus dumping. Pace checks Doe, but the puck's still free in the corner. Doe has it to the left point. Frazier gets this one across. Petrantonio shot blocked in front by Roseboom. Now look out, Port Huron wants to break out with numbers. Roseboom screaming up the left wing side with this, tries to get around his man. That's Grade, puts a hip check onto him. The pass is back to Graham. Graham's shot was blocked in front. Roseboom an effort, gloved away by McBurney, sitting on that far post comfortably, and we get our whistle. 13:53 left to go here in the first. 1-0 Port Huron leads here on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Our veterans
We are back here at the Mississippi Coast Coliseum. Port Huron Prowlers 1, River Dragons nothing through 6:07 of play here in the Sun South John Deere first period. I'm Zach DeBozart. He's Scott Brand. Scott, early thoughts. Obviously, Port Huron jumping to it, getting that early goal, and the early lead in shots, 6-2 right now.
Yeah, they are definitely playing. Here's the thing is well, you talked about the ice. It's a little thicker than normal, and so that's going to be a slower game. The other thing, Zach, you got to look out for is the temperature. As he said, it's 80 degrees here, and it's warm in the building. Not to make excuses for the Dragons, because both teams have to play with the same conditions.
Look out there. Port Huron won that faceoff to the middle, and McBurney was able to paddle it away. Down the ice it goes. Simons will hug his post. Doesn't come near him. And the River Dragons have iced it here with 13:41 left to go here in the first. Got some activity in the tunnel where the Port Huron Prowlers come out. The trainer has emerged. Caleb Williams, I don't believe, has yet. I think he's still back there.
Probably signing the autographs from his first goal. No, we hope he's well. And the second we can see him out here, fans, we'll let you know, because nobody wants to see anybody get hurt.
Face off to the right of McBurney. Columbus will win this. Frazier has it go through his stick, though, and on the near post, it's held in by Vartiainen. Dalton J. lost it in the corner. Columbus will take over. With some speed ahead, here's Jake Grade from the red line. He'll dump this one in. Left wing corner. This one will be found by Dustin Henning. He takes a check there as it's sent out into the neutral zone. Frisura moves this one over to Levesque. Now Levesque tries to get it over to Dalton J. He takes it off the boards. Jay's shot, and that rings the outside of the cage. MJ Graham tries to flip this one out for Columbus. Bersani puts it right back into his path. Graham with speed, left wing side as Columbus is changing behind this. Graham, left wing backhand to the middle, cut across the crease, ran out of room and sent it wide. Jagger Williamson puts this one up the wall. Right point, Noah Doyle shot, looking for a tip from Krupp, and he swung and he missed. Levesque sends this one off the wall. Redden intercepted by Williamson. He gives it to Graham. Left circle shot. He scores! MJ Graham, what a snipe! Top right corner, and we got a tie game. 1-1, 12:47 to go here in the first.
Yeah, and I couldn't tell, but I thought there might be some traffic that was created there, Zach. And but still, what a snipe goes in the upper corner with or without that traffic. I don't know if the goaltender gets that one.
MJ Graham. What a shot he just unleashed right there. You saw when they came back in, him and Jagger Williamson were side by side, and the defenseman wasn't really positioned in between them, so a lot of space that the two River Dragons forwards had, and the Quebec native buries it to tie this game up at 1-1. Let's listen in for the goal call.
Columbus goal scored by number 8, MG Graham, with the assist coming from number 21, Jagger Williamson. Time of goal, 7:13 of the first period.
Graham from Williamson, 7:13 into the first, and Columbus has tied this one up, 1-1. Prowlers have this puck, trying to move it to the Columbus line. That one intercepted by Grade, and now it'll go back down into the Port Huron end, where Johnson goes D-to-D. This one's sent ahead. Look out, turnover. MJ Graham finds it, but then his stick got swept, and he gets pushed out to neutral ice. Levesque has it there, tied up with a couple of Dragons, and Columbus will take over on their own end. Noah Doyle spinning away from a check. Just over 12 minutes to go here in the first. 1-1, Columbus and Port Huron. This one sent ahead. It did get a touch at the red line off the stick of Bersani. Check that, that's Levi Armstrong. And so behind the net, Port Huron will emerge with it. Federle moves this one over, left wing side. He finds his man Frisura, and then Frisura will give it to Soilis, who dumps it into the Columbus end. McBurney from behind the net had his stick checked there for a moment. Finch takes a hard check there from Frisura on the near side hash marks. Soilis coming in trying to play vulture. It's a 3-on-3 battle at the hash marks, and Columbus is going to come out with it. Anderson plays this over right wing side to Armstrong. He's in over the line, 3-on-2 with numbers. Armstrong pass across, and nobody in a black jersey can get a stick on that as it goes across the crease. Now Crawford with a check, sends it up ahead, and here's Roseboom with it. Roseboom centering feed, fires off the side of the net. Zach Frisura had an angle, but just couldn't find the inside of the post. Joe Pace with this one in the corner. It rims around. Good job sealing up there by Frazier. And now it'll be found on the near side circle. Trevor Finch takes his time, plays it back to defense. 11 minutes left to go here in the first. 1-1 our score. Columbus and Port Huron. Turnover. Vartiainen put it into the zone. Couldn't touch it though as the delayed offsides was on. Here's Austin Doe, peeking along the red line, trying to find an angle, and Port Huron ran him out of space. Vartiainen gives it to Graham, onsides, firing a shot. Easy save by Bailey McBurney, who will cover it up, wanting to play it, but ends up taking a whistle. 10:42 to go here in period one. Dragons won, Prowlers won.
And the Prowlers are doing a much better job of creating traffic and and blocking the passing lane, Zach. That's why there's been turnovers, but they've been a one-way turnover. The Dragons got to be smarter. It's almost like we're telegraphing our passes, and we're putting it right into the tape and the pads of the Prowlers.
Columbus rims this one around, just held in by Nick Manzo at the left point. That one could have been dangerous. The Columbus break was looming the other way. Now with some speed ahead, here's MJ Graham one-on-one with Manzo on him on the left wing circle. Graham tried to pass it across, missed his first target, still there loose. Chance for Doe, save made, Simons. That was a lot of chaos in the slot. That puck stayed there for what had to feel like ages if you're Corey Simons, but he's able to make himself look big, make the save, and keep this game tied.
Yeah, good opportunity there. Now the Dragons coming back there, and Doe was just too far in deep to get a good shot, and Simons has the angle there, so really wasn't a great scoring opportunity, but still good to see the Dragons continue to pound, and from the faceoff, we won one.
Offensive draw faceoff one. Fraziot's shot is blocked and sent away to the far corner. Henning racing after Mammoth behind the net with this is MJ Graham trying to play to the middle. Krupa, second chance. Save made. Side of the net was still loose and eventually cleared away by Henning. Down the ice it goes. Icing is on. Justin Schmidt racing after it. He will win the race to the hash marks uncontested. 10:02 left to go here in the first. And the Prowlers are not able to change. The River Dragons will take their option and get a fresh unit out there.
You know, one of the things it's kind of nice to see is the ice. No logos on the ice, so it's kind of like old school hockey here. So it's nice to see a clean sheet ice. They have a team here next year. You won't.
I figured that would bug you more than anything. Port Huron sends the puck out off the defensive zone draw. Doyle on the backhand, just able to get it ahead to Petrantonio, who's in the neutral zone with numbers. 3-on-2. Doe hits the line left wing. Doe and Petrantonio, a little give and go, and a shot from a short angle is shrugged away there by Simons. Left wing circle, Petrantonio checked hard there by Levesque, down to a knee. Dustin Henning finds the puck, trying to work it up the wall, gets around Doe, and Brennan Young will move this up ahead. Here's Vartiainen. It gets dropped back. Finding it again is, that's Brennan Young. And Young lost it, and Federley has it outside the line, so he has to chip it in. And McBurney covers it up. That was a bouncer towards him, a little dangerous. And 9:25 left to go in the first, and we'll get another media timeout. 30 seconds, and we're back here on the Columbus River Dragons Radio Network.
Benefits of a Kinetic membership extend far beyond convenient banking solutions, competitive rates, and financial advice. Kinetic Credit Union focuses on the unique needs of our members while supporting and improving their lives. At Kinetic Credit Union, they recognize that your financial goals are unique. That's why we're offering the Smart Steps Financial Education Program, a personalized learning experience to help you plan around your individual financial situation and aspirations. Kinetic Credit Union.
We are back here at the Mississippi Coast Coliseum, the first of 3 neutral site games be held by the FPHL in this barn in the month of December. I'm Zach DeBozart. He's Scott Brand. River Dragons and Prowlers tied 1-1 with 9:25 left to go here in the first. Port Huron with an offensive zone draw, and it splits the defense, and racing back to it all the way at his own blue line is Alex Johnson. Federley has this near side circle. He moves that one off the skate of Levesque, so no icing. In fact, it's on net, so McBurney will stick it. And Fraziot thought about it for a moment, but he had Brennan Young hot on his tail, so the River Dragons have to take another defensive zone draw. 9:11 to go here in period 1. Still 1-1, and shots on goal on the Heckler & Koch shot counter read 10-6 in favor of the Prowlers.
Yeah, it's been pretty much Prowlers. I mean, in terms of some of the highlights, and they're passing the puck, and I think they came in a night early, but again, only a 4-hour trip over here, so we can't use that as an excuse.
Columbus wins this draw. This one gets sent out. Johnson gets in front of his man. That was MJ Graham looking to go on a go route. Left wing side with this puck is Krupp. He goes off the wall, trying to get around Federley. Those two clash sticks. It goes to the side of the net, and Levesque will poke it away for the Prowlers to a safe area. On the near side boards, backhand effort by Williamson, gets it down into the corner. MJ Graham sealed off there by Alex Johnson. Krupp comes in to try and help out, but Alex Johnson strong in his stick and is able to skate it out to center himself. Gains the red line, dumps it in 100 feet. McBurney slows it up behind the net. That was between two thoughts, but Ozelinch eventually came by to go collect it. Williamson, nice deke through the middle, plays that one up, but it goes through MJ Graham's stick, and he's at the end of his shift and a little frustrated with himself.
Dragons have got a nice change here, though, Zach.
8:22 left to go here in first. 1-1 our score. Caleb Williams and MJ Graham are goal scorers joining us in here late. Levi Armstrong with this left wing side, takes it behind the net, pace on him, drops it back. Finch has it from behind the net now. Played up to the right point, D to D across for Schmidt. He puts one to the middle, deflected, and it's behind Finch. Trevor Finch was screaming to the net back door, and if that one was in his wheelhouse, he could have tapped it home. From behind the net, Dalton Anderson gets checked off the puck, now gets it back, thought about the wraparound, nothing there. Right wing circle, plays it back to the point, shot coming in, deflected just wide of the glove hand on Simons, who didn't see it through a screen. Frisura dangling his way through a couple of River Dragons, deftly in his own zone. Now sends it out to the Columbus line. River Dragons will get a change, and Roseboom will have it back in his own end. Oh, here we go. We got a tilt. Justin Schmidt has grabbed a hold of somebody.
Pace.
And they're going at it, Tim and Joe Pace, and they're both firing in rights big time. Just not stopping, heads down, going at each other. Neither of them giving an inch. Pace has now lost his lid. Schmidt is going to change it up to the left. Pace knocks Schmidt down to his knee for a moment. They're both right back up. Pace gets one in. Schmidt fires two in on the undercut. Now Schmidt drops his elbow pad. He goes back and over the top. Pace is now switched to southpaw. These guys just going at it. Schmidt over the top with a hammer fist. Now Schmidt gets a couple more in underneath. Pace is trying to go in. He gets a body shot in with the right. And this is starting to tire out, but these guys still swinging, and now the linesmen will get themselves in the way.
That may have been the longest hockey fight I've seen.
That was a doozy for sure, and this crowd roars in appreciation because of it. 7:36 to go in the first. Joe Pace and Justin Schmidt will each sit for 5.
And like most buildings, people are standing up and going out to the parking lot. Don't want to see that. I'm kidding.
You know what, Scott? I was going to say, we saw a Port Huron goal. We saw a Columbus goal. That's the loudest this crowd's been tonight.
It really has been. I mean, I don't think they put 5 minutes on the board. We'll take that down because it all washes out because hockey's the greatest sport in the world. You know, and so, listen, that was loud. I think if maybe next week or next time we come down here, we should just wear jerseys that say Biloxi on them. Go for the cheap support.
Wow. So even though they're the road team, you're trying to play to the crowd.
Why not?
I can't think of any other place you would try and do that.
That pro wrestling mentality. And technically, I guess they're Mississippi. It's not Biloxi. They'll be the Gulfport, Biloxi, or Gulf Coast.
I don't think you're on the naming committee, Scott, for this very reason.
No, I just
Port Huron wins the neutral zone draw, and we are back here at the Mississippi Coast Coliseum. Manzo plays this one off the glass. This one found at his own blue line by Doyle. Moves this one ahead. A spinorama pass, and Henning will cut it off here for Port Huron. Henning checked there by Port Huron. It falls back to the red line, and Vartiainen plays it back to defense. Matt Graham has this near side at his own blue line. Pass intercepted through the middle with some speed ahead. Firing from the high slot there is Noah Doyle, and that one goes high over the bar. Doe sends this one around the boards. Bersani from behind the net reverses it back. Doe has it in the corner. He's held up there by Manzo. Doe still with it on the forehand. Past the right circle. Petrantonio fakes the windup. A pad pass. And Simons was able to kick that one out as there was some traffic in the slot, but no bounce back. Bersani an effort, and that one's swallowed up by Simons as he saw that one just through the right lane. 6:47 to go here in the first, and it's still 1-1, Columbus and Port Huron.
Probably one of the best offensive shifts by the Dragons, other than the goal we scored. But they're getting penetration. They're working the puck well. We had 3 or 4 good passes in a row. Bad bounce in front of the net. Otherwise, there's a Dragon standing right there. So good shift.
Face-off coming to the right of Simons, and we get a whistle, and the Wings were encroaching in just a little bit too close. Puck is now down, and it's going along the near side boards. Levesque is first on it there for the Prowlers, and this one will be sent out. Young to Johnson, in over the line, bring a shot, top left wing circle. Easy save made there by McBurney, and he'll cover it up for the whistle. 6:35 to go in the first. There's a little bit of a flyby there in the crease of McBurney. Tough to see which Prowler that was because a lot of black jerseys quickly got in on him. And now Alex Johnson got a hold of somebody and fired him right back is Jay Krupp. Krupp's going in for some body shots. Those gloves flew off fast, and now they're tangled up here. Krupp and Johnson in a wrestling match, and Krupp is going to score 2 points for the takedown.
Well, I think we know who did the flyby, so
yeah.
you can't touch another team's goaltender. It's like, listen, you can pick on your little sister, but somebody else picks on your little sister. You got to defend her, and that's what a goaltender's like.
So we'll get another scrap here at the MCC. 6:35 to go in the first. Now, what I'm finding interesting is the Prowlers are actually going down to their dressing room after their fights. The River Dragons are in the box, so Justin Schmidt and Jake Krupp now both are in the penalty boxes.
I wonder if there's an escape hatch. In the old, I thought there was an escape hatch that you could go through the penalty box and out. And so
can't say for sure. We didn't get too much of a look at ice level. They stuck us way up at the top here, section double I. It's a fantastic view for us here in the Harvey Lumber broadcast booth.
It is. We just needed a Sherpa to get up here.
6:35 to go in the first. We're having a little bit of a discussion.
What are Dumb and Dumber doing?
So we'll see if there's going to be an aggressor attached onto this. Interestingly, both teams only have 4 bodies out there. Federley's at the referee's crease discussing. And MJ Graham was going to come over and represent the Dragons, but discussion over. And that is the most aggressive 2-minute roughing calls that I think I've ever seen. That's just going to anger the guys because you know they want 5 for fighting.
Well, like the we gotta go.
Oh. So
Are you kidding me?
So they go 7 minutes. So 2 minutes unsportsmanlike for each, and 5 minutes for fighting. So they'll be gone for 7 minutes. So this is why Johnson went to the room with 6:35 to go in the first.
But because there's minors involved in majors, it should all wash anyway.
Well, it goes to 4-on-4 though because of the matching minors, and the River Dragons do have to go put someone across. Levi Armstrong draws the short straw on the bench to go serve the penalty.
I believe though because there's majors though.
No, the minors and majors will be separate. The majors would wash out to 5v5. That's what we saw with the Schmidt fight. But any minors at even strength bring you down one. Face off one directly back to McBurney. And we get a whistle and another draw coming up to him.
To me, this is overkill. I don't know why.
I agree with you,
the
Scott.
Bobsey twins have to add extra minors.
I thought it was very cut and dry for 5. We're going to play 4-on-4 here for a little bit in the middle stages of the Sun South John Deere first period.
Well, the good news is that the officiating will be just as bad as it is in Mississippi as it is in Port Huron or up in Columbus.
Port Huron has this back in their own end. 4-on-4 play here for another minute 38. MJ Graham was rushing behind the net, trying to get to his man there. That was Manzo. Port Huron will eventually escape. Brennan Young chips one into the zone, right wing side. McBurney slows it up behind the net. Rimmed around the near wall. Levesque has it, right wing corner. Levesque is checked. It's tied up in his feet. He's trying to get away from MJ Graham. Levesque still with it, trying to drive the goal line. The net pops up, and now the net is off. That was an awkward drive to the net from underneath the goal line with a tight angle. Net pops off. McBurney got out of there before it potentially got on top of him. And we'll get another whistle. 5:51 to go in the first. 1:17 remaining of 4-on-4 play. And it's 1-1 here between Columbus and Port Huron.
Yeah, and they've got the good net system here that pops off when there's a suffice force.
Sufficient, I think is the word you're looking for.
Sufficient, yes.
Tied up in the feet off this draw to left of McBurney. Columbus will eventually emerge with it. Frazier from behind the net, being bothered by Frisura. Frisura doing a good job lifting the sticks, but look at that from Frazier, boxing him out nicely and keeping position there for Columbus. Moving this one up the right wing side, skating in over the line 2-on-2. Doe left wing side now with the puck, drops it back to the point. Here's Frazier looking for a shot. Petrantonio's tip, and it's just sent high over the bar. Doe with this down behind the net. Petrantonio off the backside of the cage. Manzo and Doe are in a shoulder battle. Doe won that one by strength, but the puck ended up falling to Port Huron anyways. And Vartiainen lays it back for Manzo, and they play a little give and go. Vartiainen skates this one up ahead. Trending towards the right wing side, 2-on-3 as he hits the line. Big stand-up hit right there by Frazier. Didn't get inch right there at the top of the circles. Columbus will collect the puck underneath the goal line, and now they'll for a rush of their own. A pass to the left wing side. Finds its target in Finch. Finch tries to play it back through. With it now is Noah Doyle. Back for Finch. Driving the net. What a save, Simons! Cutting to the far post. Finch tried to drop it back, and Simons somehow got his right pad on it from down on his belly. Port Huron's in a delayed offside situation. They can't touch the puck. Finch, look at that. Go back move, then cuts it to the front to get around Graham. Then he ran out of momentum at the blue line. He was headed off by Roseboom. Columbus still with possession, though, here. 4:30 left to go here in the first. We are back to 5-on-5 play as the surrogate players are out of the box. Here's Stavros, right wing circle, fires in a blocker save made there by McBurney. Now here's MJ Graham, gets around one at his own blue line, skates ahead with some speed, 3-on-2 as he hits it. Graham left wing circle, stops it back at the hash marks, firing Ozelin, and that one just went wide of the blocker hand. Top of the right wing circle, Grade plays it down into the corner. Armstrong gets bothered there by Roseboom. It's 2-on-2 in the far side corner of the Port Huron end. 4:03 left to go here in the first. Columbus going to take the opportunity to change the defense behind the scrum. Prowlers put a third body into this. It's Matt Graham, and now he quickly gets himself out. Puck's not moving. Bodies are barely moving. Referees urging them to play on, and now Stavros Soilis eventually fishes it out, sends it around the boards. MJ Graham takes a check near side there from Henning, and now a chance for Port Huron, but nicely read there by Jake Grade. Gloves it out of the air and puts it back into the Port Huron end.
Port Huron will get a necessary line change, and the Dragons are going to get another line change.
Roseboom slowed up at his own blue line, turned over. Dalton Anderson checked off the puck for a moment, got it back off the boards, and now Columbus moves this one ahead. Left wing side, here's MJ Graham, tries to deke, drops it back instead. Noah Doyle couldn't send it to the middle, and now Port Huron sends it out. Levesque was in a race. Frazier put his stick in the first, but still with it. Shot from Jay, shrugged off, back of the net, as that one went off the glass onto the back side of the cage, and it's still in play from behind. Doyle works this one out behind the net. Petrantonio, long stretch pass ahead, and he hits Graham in the shin pads with it. Nothing he could do, and Port Huron dumps this in, gaining the red, and teams are changing behind this. Under 3 minutes to play here in the first. Frazier with some speed ahead. He's got bodies bunched up right wing side. Now he hits the line 3-on-2. Right wing circle, shot, save made. Rebound to Petrantonio, had his stick lifted right there in the slot. Big check along the wall. Frazier took the worst of that. Still in the zone for Columbus, though. Jagger Williamson with it at the top of the left wing circle. At the half wall, Mo Levesque running him out of room. Tied up in the feet, and Port Huron sends it cross ice to get it out. Now coming in with this puck is Grade. Grade gets it to Doe, trying to get around Federley. And the Port Huron native does a good job holding up Doe to prevent any progress. Columbus works this back at the red line. Pass to Jagger Williamson, left wing side. Williamson slowed up, had to reach back to grab it. His pass out of the reach of Armstrong. Columbus still with it as they hold in along the half wall near side. Played to the middle, and Mo Levesque knocked this one down. And up ahead, there's a check there from Ozelinch as he knocks down his man in the neutral zone, and the puck falls free in the Columbus end for the River Dragons to pick up. 2 minutes left to go here in the Sun South John Deere first period, and we're still tied at 1-1. Doe comes into the zone, right wing circle. He slows it up. Dustin Henning, good job knocking it off his stick. Shot from a long way away is knocked away by Roseboom before it could reach his netminder. The left wing hash marks. Armstrong gets bothered for the puck. Roseboom lifts his stick, and now here he comes back the other way. Roseboom, nice sidestep around one, fires, and a blocker save made there by McBurney, and then sticked out of the air and sent down the length of the ice.
Wow, nice play there. Just walking our defenseman like you walk your dog.
Stavros Soilis drops this one back. Prowlers playing a little catch underneath the goal line. Dustin Henning will have this one, sends it a long way at the red line, intercepted by Finch. Columbus in a delayed offsides, can't touch. Roseboom from the red, sends it ahead to Frisura. He had his stick lifted, but Roseboom gets it right back. Played it off the far wall. Big check there as Roseboom and Finch go at each other. Puck was free on the far circle for a moment. Works back out to the left point. Roseboom holds in. Vartiainen across. Right wing finds the pass to Frisura. Frisura with it at the dot. Now moves it to Federley. His shot, save made there by McBurney. Columbus trying to work this one out. It'll fall to the near side wall. Racing in on this one is Bersani. Bersani gets checked, but it falls right back for MJ Graham. Graham, left wing side. Bersani got taken down at the end of that by Federley. We play on as the Prowlers try to move this one up, but Jake Grade reads it at the red line and chips it back in. River Dragons changing perhaps for the last time in the period. 36 seconds. Look out. Turnover. Behind the net. Score! Columbus. What a play made right there by Austin Doe. The wily veteran found something behind the net, came out in front uncontested, and it's 2-1 Columbus.
Yeah, 24 for the defenseman. Is
Nick Manzo.
Just fell behind the net, caught the puck up. Unfortunate play by him. But great news for the River Dragons, just able to pick the pocket one-on-one against the goaltender, and there was never an opportunity for him to make a save.
Austin Doe, heck of an effort right there, finds the loose puck, and then just showing off the veteran know-how, comes out in front of the net, doesn't immediately fire it. He finds that lane, finds the space to get the goaltender down, and eventually sends it home. It's 2-1 with 34 and a half left to go here in the first. We get two of our fighters back. That's Justin Schmidt and Joe Pace to their respective benches. And we are back underway with the River Dragons in the lead for the last 30 seconds here in the period. Look out, turnover, Jay scores! You cannot send the puck across the slot like that when Dalton Jay's waiting for it. 2-2, 22.3 to go in the first.
No, I believe I mentioned him before the broadcast. Dalton was, he's a killer and just continues to score goals at these inopportune times against us. If you're a Port Huron fan, at some point they'll probably put his number in the rafters, but man, and that's a tough goal to give up as a River Dragon.
As 35 seconds or so left to go, you figure you've got the momentum heading into the room. Now Port Huron snatched it back with a goal 7 seconds later. We are back underway. River Dragons have this in their own zone, and this one will get sent all the way around. Frazier has it far corner. Sending this one down the ice. No icing. Yes, icing is on, excuse me. Prowlers will win the race uncontested. 16.9 left to go here in the first. Austin Dull unassisted, 1925 mark. Dalton J unassisted, 1932 mark. And we've gone from 1-1 to 2-2.
I'm just waiting. We have a media timeout. I don't know if they're going to take it with 16 seconds.
Last minute, no, they're not going to.
But they are going to fix the clock, I believe.
Doe his third and Jay his fifth of the year, respectively. Stay tuned. In a handful of hockey seconds from now, we'll be on the John Emerald Distilling First Intermission Report to recap everything we've seen through the opening 20 minutes. It's been lively here in Biloxi. Crowd's gotten into it. They've seen goals. They've seen fights. And it's been a lot of fun so far in this one. Loose stick belongs to Dustin Henning. Petrantonio from the right point sends that one in. Puck loose there for a moment. Diving play by Roseboom. He's also without a stick. 5 seconds left. Columbus trying to fish this one out of the corner. Dalton Anderson can't pick it out of feet, and that'll do it for the opening 20 minutes of play. Chance there late for the River Dragons with a couple of Prowlers sticks on the ice. Petrantonio sent it in. Quentin Roseboom, heck of a job preventing Trevor Finch from getting to that puck. And it's 2-2 through 20 minutes of play. Scott, your thoughts immediately.
Well, thoughts are, we continue to shoot ourselves in the foot. We're a talented hockey team, but then you go make a mistake like that and throw it across. I mean, when we capitalize on the other team, we can't give them the opportunity to capitalize back. But still a very good period, very good showing here on the golf course.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, the John Emerald Distilling First Intermission Report. Actually, let's take this 30-second break, then we'll run it right in to the John Emerald Distilling First Intermission Report after this on the River Dragons Radio Network.
The benefits of a Kinetic membership extend far beyond convenient banking solutions, competitive rates, and financial advice. Kinetic Credit Union focuses on the unique needs of our members while supporting and improving their lives. At Kinetic Credit Union, they recognize that your financial goals are unique. That's why we're offering the Smart Steps Financial Education Program, a personalized learning experience to help you plan around your individual financial situation and aspirations. Kinetic Credit Union.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey cheesy crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously, but as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
In 1999, Watley Convenience Stores opened its first Zelmo Zip-In. Our first store was in Leesburg, Georgia, and followed quickly by our second store in the Columbus, Phoenix City area in 2000. Since then, the brand has grown to include 11 stores in the Chattahoochee Valley and Southwest Georgia. Zelmo's is an anchor in the communities it operates in. Our managers, employees, and vendors are all an integral part of the neighborhoods and communities we serve. We are proud to call these areas home and plan to continue growing with and serving the communities of West Georgia and East Alabama. Zelmo's, fueling life's passions.
Progress. It's the belief that your life should be easier, that life should be fun, and that the best is yet to come. With us, you have a provider who pours everything into bringing progress home. And it's not just some big name in a faraway glass tower. That provider is here. That provider is Beam. With local service and faster internet, the only place you're going is forward, and we're taking you there. Progress, your Beam, your way.
I'm Alicia Lawrence, the Director of Communications for Muskogee County School District, and I am so excited about this year's United Way campaign. I've been given for over 5 years to the United Way of the Chattahoochee Valley, and I think it's so important that we top our goals this year and go even above for our community during this tough year. If you want to give, go ahead and reach out to unitedwayofvcv.org today to find out how you can contribute.
We are back here at the Mississippi Coast Coliseum, ready to start the John Emerald Distilling First Intermission Report. However, first, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Columbus River Dragons Radio Network. I'm Zach DeBozart. He's Scott Brand. John Emerald Distilling, proud partner of your Columbus River Dragons, not only for the First Intermission Report, but for the John Emerald Distilling Coaches Show that you hear on all these same radio stations and now in podcast form on the YouTube channel as